You're at the right place for all of your Titans off-season coverage. Make sure to subscribe for the best coverage. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get up there. We want more people hanging out with us and talking about the Titans. Hit the sub button. We're currently at 5,610 subscribers. We're trying to get to 6,000 before the draft. Let's make it happen. Welcome into Titans Today. I'm Abby Alonso, and today we are covering the top needs for this Titans team and who they could go out and sign in free agency to help fill the holes that led to their demise in 2022. Here's a list of exactly what they need to order to fix the things they need to fix. First up, quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, cornerback. These are no-brainers. It is very clear that these are the positions that needed help this past season, whether it was because of injury or other reasons, people just not pulling through on their job. They've got to get it together in these four positions, and let's get straight into quarterbacks, because that's the hot topic right now. The depth chart here is Ryan Tannehill, who's got 1 year left on his contract. He's kind of up in the air. Will he stay? Will he go? We really don't know at this point. Josh Dobbs, who is a free agent, are they going to re-sign him, keep him around? Are they going to choose to go a different route? And you've got Malik Willis, but when Willis played this past season, he just didn't pull through. He's not ready to be the starter. So you've got questions here. Ryan Tannehill isn't a bad quarterback, but I don't think he's the guy that's going to lead you deep into the postseason. Back in 2019, he had his highest completion percentage, only threw for about 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And then 2020, less accurate, more yards, 3,800, 33 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions, which the change from 2019 to 2020 is good. 2021, 67.2 completion percentage, 3,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions, doubled the amount of interceptions he had in 2020. And of course, this past season, he only played so many games because of that ankle injury. He had a 65.2 completion percentage, 2,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Pretty average season, not terrible, but the Titans just kind of fell off in the last half of the season, and I don't think Tannehill sticking around is going to change the way that plays out in 2023 as well. Before we continue, name a player you want the Titans to sign in free agency. It could be a quarterback. It could be one of the other positions I named before that. It could be a position I haven't even mentioned ever. Let me know who you think the Titans should sign during the offseason. Moving on to who the Titans could go out and sign in free agency. Okay, they trade Ryan Tannehill or cut him or whatever they decide to do. They need a quarterback. These are some guys they could go out and get in free agency. Derek Carr, who just became a free agent last week after he told the Raiders he would not be traded and they cut him. Lamar Jackson, who is a free agent this year, his contract is up. He's kind of looking whether he's going to go back to Baltimore or maybe find somewhere else. Who knows? Jimmy G, there's a lot of questions with the quarterback room in San Francisco, but it is clear Kyle Shanahan has already said he will not be returning to San Francisco, so he is now trying to find a new place to land and kind of keep his career going. Jacoby Brissett with Deshaun Watson back. Jacoby didn't do terribly as a starter, and for a team that needs a game manager, he could be a guy to come in and kind of hold things down if he's got protection and weapons. And then, of course, Baker Mayfield, who signed with the Rams halfway through the season, more than halfway, did pretty well, not bad. 12 games, 60% completion percentage, 2,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions between the Panthers and the Rams. He is also looking to continue his career. I don't think it will be with the Rams. It'll be with someone else. Do you want it to be the Titans? Do you want Baker Mayfield in Nashville? Be honest. It's okay to be honest. If you do, type Y for yes. If you don't, type N for no. Let's move on to the wide receiver room. And this is a hot topic because Treylon Burks did not come through this past season. A lot of that was because of the toe turf injury and the concussion, but he just never really could get going. Robert Woods probably will be cut within the next couple weeks. Racey McMath was on IR for a little bit. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine flashed rarely, but and Kyle Phillips, another one that never really got a chance to show off because he was also injured. So injury-ridden to say the least, but also you don't really have a weapon, a dude. Like, you don't have a unit in there. Traylon Burks, sure, he's got the potential. We heard great things about him. We weren't able to see it, but you really need somebody to complement that. You can't just have one guy. You've got to have options. You got to bring in another weapon. That is a no-brainer. Here are some guys that Tennessee could look at during the offseason. Jacoby Myers, as much as we'd like to see him in Tennessee, I don't think New England lets him go because, yes, he struggled with a few injuries, but he did very well considering all the hoopla that was going on with that offense this past season. But he did very well. I don't think he's going to be allowed to walk during the offseason. Paris Campbell didn't really have a consistent quarterback, much less a good quarterback this season. He did flash, however, and he showed that, hey, if you get me somebody that can throw me the ball, I'll do something. But what we're hearing with the recent rumors is that the Colts are going to trade up for that number 1 pick, maybe go get a quarterback. And I don't think if they land CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, like we're hearing, I think Paris Campbell will stay in Indianapolis. Mecole Hardman, he's another one. He's fast. He can get it done, but he did just land on IR for, I believe it was a pelvis injury he sustained in week 9, tried to come back for the AFC Championship and re-aggravated it, wasn't able to play in the Super Bowl, but he did contribute to that offense. I don't think that's somebody that the Chiefs are going to really let go, nor do I think he'll end up with Tennessee. Allen Lazard, though, I do think he could end up in Tennessee. He kind of took a back seat to rookie Christian Watson in Green Bay in the second half of the season. He still set new career highs in receptions and yards while scoring 6 touchdowns. But he hinted at the end of the season, it was his last game in Green Bay. He wasn't going to be playing at Lambeau Field again as a Packer, which says everything but I'm not going to be a Packer next year. I mean, he kind of hinted at it. And I think he'd be a top option in Tennessee, especially if these Aaron Rodgers trade rumors are to become true. It'd be nice to bring him over with Rodgers. They've already worked together. He did well with Rodgers whenever that offense could get it together. But I think that would be somebody that could come into the Titans receiver room. He's a big-bodied guy. He can do the contested catches. Something you're looking for, he could fill that hole. And, of course, DJ Chark, who injury-ridden a little bit. He was in and out throughout the season with the Lions. When he did play, he did well, but I know you guys have made it known very, very well that you do not want somebody coming in here that is injury-ridden because we already deal with it enough. I get it. The Titans are the most injured team in the NFL. You don't want to bring somebody in that is only going to make that worse. So I think it's Allen Lazard, but which receiver should the Titans sign? Who do you think? Play GM. Let me know. Who would you sign if you were Rand Carthen? Who would you sign? And before we continue, let me tell you about our sponsor today. Fanatics has this nice combo for women. So men, listen up. Get your girl styled for the off season. They've got a nice short sleeve t-shirt for when it does get warmer, because we know it gets real hot towards the draft. And right now it's still a little chilly, so maybe get her a long sleeve too. Boom, you got a deal. You get both. Head to chatsports.com/Titans combo. Hook your girl up. She'll thank you later. Okay, the O-line. I feel like I've talked about this every day because we can't avoid it. It's a problem. It's got to be fixed. It is a priority. Taylor Lewan probably getting cut. Too injured, getting too old, not getting the job done. Aaron Brewer didn't do much this season, actually wasn't great. Ben Jones, injured. Nicholas Petit-Frere not great. Nate Davis is the only one who he went through a little bit of an injury with the concussion, missed 3 games. He did do decently, but not enough to maybe re-sign him. I don't think any of these guys really showed up this season. I think it's time to go look for some guys that could come in and actually get the job done, make the front strong, because it starts there. That's where the foundation starts. Mike McGlinchey from San Francisco, he's one of the league's better run blocking linemen. He's a leader, which is something the O-line will be looking for if they do cut Taylor Lewan. So that would be a big help, because it's not just physical, it's also mental. This game is so mental. Caleb McGrary is another one in Atlanta. He was a little injured this season, but he did well. Ben Powers, who didn't allow any sacks in Baltimore, which, hey, bring him in. If we can protect the quarterback, protect the quarterback. Isaac Seumalo, who is my favorite on this list. Why? Because the guy he's a dude. He's part of one of the best O-lines in the league. He's smart. He's versatile. He can play any position up front, which is beneficial for a Titans team that might be just clearing the entire O-line. You're going to need guys in most of those positions. So bringing in a guy that could pretty much play across the O-line, pretty much anywhere you put him, would be very beneficial for this team. PFF has him as the 9th best guard in the league. He's a Pro Bowl alternate. I mean, it doesn't really get better than that. I don't know if the Eagles will be able to pay him what he deserves. Maybe the Titans get lucky. Howie Roseman up in Philadelphia has magic. He's got the magic touch. He's able to move the money around and make things happen. But he's going to have to pay Jalen Hurts more. And can you afford to keep all of your guys? I don't know. So if Isaac Seumalo does not get the pay raise that he should get and they can't afford to keep him, I think Tennessee should absolutely go after him. Absolutely. And of course, you've got Jawan Taylor, who did a very good job in Jacksonville this past season protecting Trevor Lawrence. All 5 of those guys would absolutely bolster the O-line. And of course, the cornerback position. This has been a little bit overshadowed because all we've talked about is who's going to throw the ball, who's going to catch the ball, who's going to protect the quarterback. We kind of forgot that the Titans' defense was not great. Run defense, phenomenal. Pass defense, trash. Cannot continue with that. And it's kind of flying under the radar. You brought in some new coaches for the defense, but I think it comes down to personnel. You got to do something about it. You look at these rankings. Yards per game, 351.6. Receiving yards per game, 274.8. They are last in the league. The worst pass defense in the league. You can't let that slide over to the next season. You've got to change something, and I think it comes with the personnel. Here are some free agent targets that could come in and maybe change some things up. James Bradberry, who had that unfortunate call in the Super Bowl. That's kind of why his name's floating around right now, but he's not bad. He's good. He just got caught up in the moment. He'd be probably somebody that could come in, kind of lead the defense, maybe knock down some of those yards. You've got Cameron Sutton in Pittsburgh, who he's another one. He's inside and outside versatility, which is good considering you're going to need that. You got to have all your bases covered. He's a guy that could come in and do that. Jamel Dean, Jonathan Jones, Patrick Peterson, you got to bring somebody in. These guys are up there. They get the job done. I don't think Jonathan Jones ends up over here either. I think the Patriots are holding on to what they got because they've got it, understandably so. But you cannot continue with this, and it has got to start being a priority. So worried about the offense that if you don't worry about the defense as well, you're going to fix the offense and then realize, oh man, we absolutely forgot to fill that hole, and we're still not getting the job done because you got to have a balanced team. We've seen that this season. You can't have one without the other. You can. So guys, let me know. I'm sitting here talking to you about how important the defense is, but what is the biggest need? If you had to pick one, you could only pick one. Is it a quarterback? Is it an offensive lineman? Is it a wide receiver? Is it a cornerback? What is the most important? Look at all the injuries on that screen. I can't get over that. Yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think the Titans need to prioritize, whether it be in the draft, free agency specifically, or trading. What is the biggest need for this Titans team? And make sure to hit that sub button. We want to grow this fan base. The more people that care about the Titans, the more the Titans care about the Titans, and maybe they'll just become better and start playing like they've got people in their corner. Hit the sub button. Let's get this thing going. Let's get to the biggest channel on YouTube.